Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing well. This lovely stream brought to you by Ironborn Academy. We're gonna be doing another class stream, um, and this one is going to be session 1 of the Magic of Fae for the newest cohort, the summer cohort for the Ironborn Academy. We got some new students, new people that are not too familiar with Oberon, so it'll be a little bit more like going into like phase structures and doing a review of the different schools of magic, um, and all of that jazz. I am very much looking forward to the different, I would say, like, makeup of this cohort. One, just because I don't know too many of them as characters yet. Like Oberon, they're all fairly new to his, I would say, medium circle. So he's definitely just getting to know them. And it's just so exciting to have like more people interested in this like long form RP, where we're very much like making it up as we go. Meaning like it's not so much like server supported, but like we as players are wanting this kind of RP, and therefore we are making it happen effectively. And it's been really cool to like slowly build toward this for Oberon. It's been 8+ months, actually going on, I would say 10 months in the making, because I was making stuff prior to the school actually opening and running class and everything. So it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully y'all have a lovely little snack ready to go. You have some libations or drinks. It should be a good time. I fully expect more questions to be had by the students because they don't all know him. And none of the students are Fae. To the best of my knowledge. None of them have like come out and said like I have Fae lineage. It's mostly been like I'm a witch, I'm a siren. Trying to be all stinky. Yeah. You don't see me. You don't see me.
Hello.
Hello, you don't see me.
Ah!
Oh! Where are the stairs? Are there no stairs for you guys?
No, there's stairs. You scared me.
Oh, okay, hold on. I might have to think about paradise. Alright, sorry guys, 1 second. I might have to take a nap. I forgot I cleared my cache. Oy, oy, oy. Army Vet Gaming, thank you for the follow. Maddie, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you all are having a good night. Should be a good time. Yes, yes, yes.
Hey, listen!
Fair plays. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Happy Friday. We're just loading back in. Had to take a quick nap. It is funny though, because I know Oberon's Haven is a bit much, but in my defense, I have no neighbors around me. So I went a little crazy with the decorating, and even before that, Old Haven, when we had Roxwood, was the same way. And I utilize the exterior part of the building for roleplay scenes like we're about to have. Because I can't. But now there is a city limit of 80 pieces outside, and I have over 500. So when you clear your cache, it takes a minute for it to be able to load all back in. Alright. Let's do this thing. Give it a second. Does he have food? Yes and no. Excuse me. Aha! Welcome, welcome. I can see again. This is
Hello.
lovely. How are you two
I was
doing?
just about to sit down.
No, you may not sit down. You only can stand.
So I made my water funnel for nothing. Now I have to
Yes.
put it away.
Yes, you do. All for nothing.
Paper's kind of white now.
Out of curiosity, have you saved the scene? Because that might actually make your life so much easier.
How do you do that?
How?
So at the bottom of the menu that you see, there should be like save option, like our preset option. And then you just got to name it whatever it is. And then any time that you need to lay it down, you think /scene and just put random text. And then you hit enter, and then you go to your presets. And that's how I was able to quickly put up the New Haven sign. So. But that way, you don't have to do it over and over again. And that's actually how you save, like, the menu items scenes for Hex and other places as well. Hello, Cass. Hello. Hello, Brindley. How's everybody doing?
Good. Good.
Wonderful. Quick food and drink check before we begin. Just making sure I don't want anyone to, like, you know.
You're right.
I have a little something. Hopefully it'll be able to last me an hour.
Wonderful. All right. Let's go ahead and make our way into the classroom when you're ready. Ah! And it's evening. We get an evening class. I love this so very much. I think the last time you all were here, it was daytime, so you didn't get to see the ambiance.
Ooh, okay.
All right, everybody, please find a seat that you prefer.
Be the lady of the class. Oh.
It has been 0 days since I've had a student up on the perch. All right. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little backdrop here on the screen. Give me 1 second.
Oh, that's something to remember, I guess.
All right. You can adjust the volume of the music that I just put on through your subchromium processor volume. So if it's too loud, if you want to mute it, that's how you can do that. I just like a little bit of, you know, lovely background music as I talk, so it doesn't sound like I'm talking to myself. Nice. I love the uniforms, everybody. You look
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Hopefully.
You always looking good yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I need to bring up the silly beasts in my eyes. Alright. Versus Magic of Fae. Open. Perfect. Nicely done, Sailor. Nicely done. All right. Is everybody settled?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well,
Yes.
firstly, thank you all for being here. Welcome to the Ironborn Academy officially. I know some of you had audited the previous class from a few weeks ago, but this class marks the beginning of your journey with this academy. You all have been chosen through my relationship with you, as well as a basic screening process that honestly, with your applications, you are able to gain access to this academy. Now, I want to put a disclaimer that while I am the headmaster of this branch, this is not the main academy. The original academy resides in Midsumner, which is not on this plane. It is in the Feywilds. And Midsumner is one of the capital cities in the Feywild. That is where I hail from. That is where I was born and raised. And that is the very academy that I myself went to as a youngling and graduated as well. Since I have found a new home here, and I have met various folks such as yourself, wanting to learn more knowledge or have a haven to just meet other folk, I took it upon myself to go to the headmaster there, apply for the equivalent of a human business license or a franchise license, and I was approved. Every student that applies to the academy goes through a basic screening process, and once approved, you received your acceptance letters. Was everybody in attendance to the audit class a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
I think you all were.
Yeah, I think we were.
Okay, wonderful. So I won't go too much again into my disclaimer of, during this quarter, I will be releasing a tract of like what kind of degrees you can earn and what kind of certifications. So bear with me on that. That is still in work and in going through the approval process and feedback process with the Council of Ironborn Academy. So, but that is not what we are here for today to talk about. We are here to talk about the Magic of Fae, the very course that you are signed up to take. So, you all have access to the syllabus in emails. You are welcome to bring it up because this is the first session. I will be going over the requirements for this course, and I will be taking any questions afterwards. And then I will be jumping into our lecture, which will be going over the weave and the different schools of magic. After tonight, after the course has ended, if anyone would like to have their one-on-one, you are welcome to stay behind and I will have that one-on-one with you. So, any questions before I jump into the syllabus?
Mm-mm.
Lovely. All right. Welcome. You all should have my phone number. You all should have my email. This course is a 4-session course. I know the syllabus is 4 weeks, but that's just to show like the duration and kind of pacing, as we all have a variety of different nightmares and stuff. But essentially, I would like to have this course completed within 2 months of today's start date. So what does that mean? Well, each week there is a 50-minute lecture. Weeks 1 and 3, you will be required to have a one-on-one with myself. Week 2, after the lecture, there will be a mid-course knowledge check. It will cover the content of the first and the second lecture. It's a very simple exam. I can say with pride that I have yet to have a student fail one of the knowledge checks. And it's an open book test. It's not a collaborative test. You cannot talk to your fellow students. So please take your notes. There will also be resources in the emails on the content that we do cover. One of the other tasks that you will be given is to meditate with another student. So after this class, you have until the end of next class to reach out to one of your fellow mates and schedule some time to go on a nature walk, to go to the beach, to watch a movie, etc. and so forth. And the purpose of that is, one, for you all to connect on some level. You can totally meditate with more than one student. You don't have to do it once. If you all wanted to have different sessions with each other to bond, you are welcome to do so. The purpose of this is I want you all to take time and get used to the process of meditation. I don't know yet all of your paths that you have walked, but meditation, especially when it comes to magic, is one that is key to um, practice, especially in understanding yourself, your body, and your connection to whatever source of magic resides within you. When you bond with another person, interesting things can happen. I'll be honest, there's some curiosity on my end to kind of have students interact with each other and see how their magics feel each other out or help each other. And also, again, this is just an exercise for you all to socialize outside of class. So, um, that is one of your assignments. For the 4th week, there is a reflection essay due, and that is an essay that the minimum requirement is 500 words, and it will cover what you've learned, how it relates to your own magical journey, and how you wish to apply what you've learned in the future. That essay is due at the beginning of the final presentation session. It's not due at the end, it's due at the beginning. I am also flexible to due dates, so if you need them, please communicate with me. Otherwise, that is the line that I'm holding. For the final presentations, throughout this entire course, you should start to regularly meditating by yourself, and again, have at least one session where you meditate with another student. Ideally, you go out into nature to a location of your choosing. And this final project is going to focus on a minor spell. You can do it by yourself. You can do it with a student. You could even potentially present the spell in class. I'm pretty loose about what that means. Basically, I want you all to be able to stand in front, like I am doing so right now, and give a 5-minute presentation with a short Q&A afterwards on your experience in casting the spell, and your magic journey with it, deep diving into that. This is also to kind of expose other students to other different types of magic. This is also for you to exercise and kind of start dabbling in, your, I would say, one of your foundational spells that you should have in the back pocket. So there is that. And then after everybody is done with their presentations, there will be a final knowledge check. That knowledge check will cover weeks 3 and 4. And then upon completion of all the assignments I just previously mentioned, you will either receive a pass or a fail grade. You need to earn a pass grade in order to proceed on to the next course. If you don't, you will be held back until every assignment is turned in. Once turned in, then you will allowed to attend classes. You can always attend classes, but you will allowed to earn experience towards that. So that is all of the different types of assignments. Again, we have lectures, we have knowledge checks, we have a reflection essay, a meditation, field trip, final project / like spell presentation, and that will be the entirety of the Magic of Fae. Any questions on what I just covered with the syllabus?
Yes, I have a couple of questions. So, going over all that you said, so week 1 will just be just a lecture, and then week 2 is when we will start doing knowledge check, or is it like transitioning in between?
So the knowledge,
from week 1 to week 2?
the knowledge check is like an exam. It's like literally, I believe, 20 questions. So I have, so it's like a test. So the test will cover week 1 and 2, and it will be given after the second lecture. So we'll finish the second lecture, and then I will send you all I will send you the link to take the exam. I will grade the exam. You'll know then if you pass the exam.
Okay.
And week 1, you were not just required to attend a lecture, but you were also required to have a one-on-one with me. The meditation with another student you should try to do within the next few weeks. And ideally that should be done prior to the second week lecture.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay, so when you mean by that, like week 2 after the lecture, when we would start meditating with another student, or do we do that prior before the class?
It's loose. I think
starts?
ideally I would like the meditation to be done before the lecture, but I mean if schedules
Okay.
don't allow that, like as long I'm trying to make sure that you guys like sync up essentially. Like I don't want to herd too many cats, but I would love for you guys to have your meditation with another student done by then. At minimum, you should hopefully have done at least one meditation regardless before the second week lecture.
Okay.
So, I've had students in the past journal every meditation that they did by themselves or with a student, and that added towards their credit for the class. You are welcome to do so. Journaling is a really great way to make your inside thoughts out and help process it, because sometimes when we think things, it makes it better once we actually write it down. It just helps us kind of process it further. So, did you have any other questions? Because I think you said you had a few.
No, you answered my question perfectly.
Yeah,
thank
you're
you.
welcome. All right, Cass, any questions?
No.
Cool. I know you're gonna pass. I have every confidence in you, Cass.
Yeah.
Sailor Melina.
No, I'm good.
No
Cool.
question.
Perfect. All right. Let me get my little cute lecture notes out. If that is it, I'm gonna jump into the lecture. All right. So, disclaimer, all that I'm about to say and all that I'm about to cover comes from the perspective of the Fae, otherwise known as changelings, otherwise known as fairies, etc., and so forth. All of you kind of heard my basic description of what a Fae is. On top of just general, like, cultural, I would say, rules and expectations that kind of guide and make sure that Fae function a certain way. We also have, I would say, just as much as, like, it's both strict and loose of a magical system, if you will, but it also intertwines itself with those cultural expectations. A lot of our magic is very chaotic at times. It is miracle inducing. It is good, it is bad, it is ugly. However, I always put this disclaimer that with this magic, the type of magic you use, magic inherently is not good or bad. How you use it and the purpose and the way and the outcome is all dependent on the magic user. All right? I want you guys to understand that. For example, like necromancy as a school of magic, we'll get into that in a bit. It's a scary word. Most of us here are immortal or immortal adjacent. Death is still part of our life cycle. Just because we are immortal doesn't mean we can't die. We can still die, and there is a life cycle to adhere to as Fae. In fact, that is also extremely well ingrained in our lives. But just by existing does not mean that it's evil. It is part of life. It is part of the spectrum. It both makes it terrifying and beautiful at the same time. Now, as previously mentioned from the lecture you all attended, the Feywild um, is one of the oldest planes of existence. It is so old that to us it is very much entwined with the history of how this world, this very physical world around us, was created. There are tales that the Feywild is literally born out of existence because of imagination, because there was this great, um, for lack of a term, and to kind of borrow from the humans, like a big bang, if you will. And in all of this, many, many, many layers of existence came into fruition. And the very fabric of the world around us was defined, was raw, was very simple yet complicated to understand and to hone. Throughout my lectures, I will probably always say like one side of a coin and then the other. The Fae are very balanced in what we do: the light, the dark, the good, the evil, the seelie, the unseelie. We are about balance. Everything needs that to survive. If something were to go heavily astray, that means there will come soon a heavy correction. Now, to really focus on the terms that we as Fae use around magic, there's this idea about something called the weave. The weave, the weave.
Like a spider weave?
Yeah, like
Web
fabric.
thingy?
Yeah,
Okay.
WEAVE. We
Yeah,
view it as the fabric of raw magic, and a lot of this is gonna get like really kind of conceptual, if you will. But in our lore, we believe that all magic comes from the weave. This like alternate reality of like literally this magic exists, and the Feywild is the closest reality that has access to the weave, and that is why magic is so easily accessible there. And yet there are specific rituals, spells, literal manifestations of the magic that we have to access in order to tap into the weave. There's also this idea that the weave is maintained by a magical goddess by the name of Mistra or Mistral. There are clerics who are known to have been blessed by them. We have certain religious holidays that focus around just homage to the weave. But what does that mean for like everyday users, right? What does that mean? Well, kind of circling back again to meditating, when I cast a spell, when I do a ritual, when I try to access the weave that... I'm sorry. Does the sky look different to everybody?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's
it has
green.
turned green and rainy. And
It's been...
I don't
Kinda
see
scary.
green.
Okay.
But I've heard of green.
It happened once before, but the timing is really suspect. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. When I internalize accessing my magic, I think of myself as a spool of thread. And there are layers to this spool. and I have to follow the lines of the very string of my being to get to the core where my magic lies. And through my various trainings, that's how I've been able to access it. This is what I mean by it's like I'm going to be talking in like conceptualizations, right? So for some fae, they are able to access the weave. Some fae are not. It just depends on their own connection. Depends on them as magical beings, who they are in the hierarchy. Archfey are some could say that like they basically have a direct line. How I explained it in the last class is like think of a house, right? And think of like a spool of yarn existing in a basement. And that is magic in its entirety. The Feywild exists in the basement with the spool of yarn. Perhaps a spool of yarn is in a cabinet, but in the Feywild, we can just open the cabinet and we can access it. But here on the prime material plane, we're like on the third floor. We're like 2 levels above. And it is a lot harder to be able to access the weave. Not impossible, just more difficult. And every once in a while, whether it be by natural means or other fae doing nefarious things or good things, I don't know, miracles can happen on the prime material plane. Portals can open. Someone could be born of like with a fae soul. Like that is how we conceptualize what our magic is. So if we ever, you know, if I venture to Midsummer with you, you will very much hear people talking about the weave in the streets, giving you weaving's blessings. You will see a variety of different products in the artisan alleys that have like loom, LOOM, loom like qualities to it. But the weave is so ingrained in us all, and we both respect and fear it and want more. Let's see here. Just as a general note, there have been times where, in rare instances, what we call spell plagues have occurred, and this means we have lost access to the weave for one reason or another, and the Fae have lost magic. This has only happened twice in my known history that I am aware of through Ironborn Academy archives, and each time it's usually lasted about between 5 to 50 years. Um, Typically speaking, I believe the first one was done because there was a necromancer who wanted to ascend and was able to um, essentially have the weave all to themselves for a hot minute. And they were able to ascend, unfortunately, and then insert heroes to try and get them back. And they were able. The thing is, I'm not allowed to say this person's name. That was part of a bargain that was struck once they were fallen, but they are still around, if that makes sense. But that was the first spell plague. The second spell plague had to do with, actually most recently, with humans around the 1950s, kind of like the age of where humans were having a lot of industry. They were having less creativity, lots of wars. The connection between the prime material plane and the Feywild are very much is very strong, and they affect each other greatly. So when people were not believing in themselves, hope was all lost, the world was almost decimated. It was a very dark times in the Feywild, and magic was lost there for about 5 years during the World War II specifically. So that can happen. let's see here. Any questions on the weave?
Not for me.
Not for me either.
Down here.
Perfect. All right. So, I'm going to transition now into discussing the, let's see here, 1, 2, 3. Okay. There are 8 recognized schools of magic, soon to be 9, though that is going through the 9th school, which I will get into at the very end, is going through a rigorous process, as it has been many, many, many centuries since a school of magic has been recognized. So, the first school of magic I'm going to be discussing is the School of Abjuration. And I guess I should step back here. What is a school of magic? A school of magic is a focus of a very specific type of magic. And typically speaking, a spell will have a school of magic focus. If you have the ability to do something called detect magic, and it's from the Fey source, after casting that spell, you will actually get a ping for what kind of magic an object has. So either an object that's enchanted, maybe someone that has like a curse upon them. If there's any other magic in the area, if there's like magic like residue or residuals, you will get a ping from that. Now, can an item or person, etc., have more than one school of magic? Yes, of course. That most I've seen is 3 different types of school magic, but that is a very, very, very complicated spell to be had. It is very rare. Most will only cover 1. So the first school of magic is Abjuration. Abjuration focuses on protection and defenses. These spells generally create magical barriers, block harmful effects, and banish unwanted entities. Examples of abjuration spells include Shield, where if you're like a sorcerer or a wizard, you are able to create a magical barrier as a reaction for when somebody is trying to cause you harm, or perhaps a large boulder is about to fall on your head. You know the spell quickly enough that you can have a magical shield. Very briefly will appear, it will disappear afterwards. And kind of give you a little bit more protection. Another example is Counterspell. Counterspell is a really powerful spell to have, and if you find yourself in a I would say in a class of like of depending on where your magic comes from, where you would gain access to that, highly recommend that, especially if you are going to be finding yourselves in situations where you're going to have to protect yourself, especially against other magic users. Another example is Dispel Magic. It's exactly what it sounds like. You just kind of snap of your fingers, you'll be able to negate any spell that you are targeting. And then a Glyph of Warding. A Glyph of Warding can actually be a glyph that is installed or painted or carved into an item or object or piece of land. It can be activated by physicality, like somebody crossing the threshold of the glyph to a specific word. It all depends on how the magic user sets it up. So that's abjuration.
You say glyph like GLYPH?
Yes.
Okay.
The next school of magic is conjuration. Honestly, conjuration is one of my favorites. These spells focus on creation and transportation. They bring objects or creatures to you, send things away, or teleport. Um, Examples of these include Find Familiar, especially for you witchy folks. Perhaps this is a spell that you would want to look into. I know Des has the ability to cast the spell herself. Highly recommend reaching out to her for some mentorship there for it. Then there's Misty Step, which is like a very basic teleportation spell where you turn into mist very briefly, and within 30 feet, you're able to teleport to a location that you can see. There's Dimension Door, which is a more powerful spell where you can teleport yourself within, I believe, half a mile radius, and you don't have to see that spot. So just beware. You have to be very, very sure of where you're transporting yourself, as if you are not cautious, there is high chance that you might teleport yourself in the middle of a wall, a rock, the ground, etc. And then one of my favorites is Conjure Elemental. So you can literally conjure an elemental creature. However, just that's also comes with its own like caution stamp of if you lose focus on the creature, they are a neutral entity and they typically are very angry when they are conjured and will attack anything within sight. So be very, very far away, or very, very sure that when you're close that you are not going to lose concentration on them. The third school of magic is divination. I can see lots of twinkling in your eyes, as this is a very, I would say, thematically focused school at Hex and Hearth specifically. And divination focus on knowledge and prediction. These spells reveal hidden information, see the unseen, or help you glimpse the future. Detect magic actually falls under this school of magic. Identify does as well. See invisibility and scrying, and other divination, tarot related spells as well. Let's see here. Enchantment is the next. Mind control, manipulation. These spells alter how targets think, feel, or behave. To me, this school comes with a heavy, heavy caution and warning. It is one of the main schools that is naturally born within each Fae person. I have to be very, very careful with my words around people. I have to be especially careful when I am in a heightened emotional state, as the very words that I speak could potentially result in some form of enchantment. And they have. I do not mind sharing this story, as it is important. I myself am a late blossomer, as my culture would see it. For Fae, when they come into their powers, they begin to blossom. And typically, if a Fae person begins to blossom, they are swooped up by whatever mentor is mentoring them, or a family member, and taken outside of or away from any major populated areas, as it is kind of a mixed bag, unless you are very, very sure about what kind of magic that Fae is going to possess. So for their safety and others, they are taken away. Typically blossoming happens, I would say, between 18 and 20 years of human years. I did not blossom until about 5 years ago, right after my father passed. I have a lot of knowledge of everything that I'm discussing with you folks, but my ability to actually access my weave, it did not become accessible until I found myself within this land. And it wasn't until about 8 months ago that I was having a conversation with Atlas about I was being very protective at the time, not really necessarily realizing it. About a weakness us Fae have with Atlas, and needless to say, I did not realize it until the words were spoken, but we entered into a pact, a no harm pact. And when that occurred, both him and I were marked. We were bound together. And at the time, we both thought that the chances of that pact breaking were very, very slim. It was about 4 months later that he broke that pact. And one of the stipulations that he had agreed to was if he were to break it, I was to kill him. And it led to a day where it was extremely hard. I had to stay away from him. We were not dating at the time. I have hunter's blood within me, and that is a term that I will not expand upon too much, but that is a Fae trait that I maintain. I'm a natural born hunter. And the only way for me to, I would say, outthink what we had brought upon ourselves was to make him human very briefly, and to kill him. And I did. I stopped his heart. And then he returned to his current state thereafter. We are very lucky that we were able to figure out a loophole of that nature. I learned a very hard lesson that day. So, enchantment is very powerful. Mind magic is extremely powerful. Any sort of manipulation. You need to be very cautious if you do maintain or present natural abilities into this kind of magic. And also be very cautious about your emotions if you do. You could do a variety of different spells, ranging from Charm Person, Sleep, Hold Person, Dominate Monster, to if you are a Fae, you could do what I did and create actual contracts without anything written, but only verbally spoken. That's enchantment. It can have its uses, but I would not be the best mentor if I did not caution, or at least tell the tales of caution with this type of magic. All right. The next school of magic is evocation. Evocation focuses on raw energy and elemental effects. These spells create blasts of light, fire, or healing energy. Examples of these spells include Fireball, Cure Wounds, Lightning Bolt, Healing Word, essentially any sort of energy-related magic, elemental-related magic, you name it, is going to be evocation. And typically, not typically, I would say this word itself, the origins of it is one that, if you focus on the word evoke and what that means, it means to call out, to make a noise. And typically, when you call upon elemental effects, the spells that the weave has require you to be able to speak. If you are nonverbal, you will probably never be able to do evocation magic. So just keep that in mind if that is something that interests you. It can be very also not harmful is not the right word. Labor inducing on your throat, as some of these spells, you channel the actual raw magic through your vocal cords. And there is always risk to harming your vocal cords for good. So keep that in mind as well. All right. The next school of magic is illusion, which focuses on deception and sensory and trickery. These spells fool the eyes, ears, and minds of others. Spells include disguise self, major image, phantom seed, invisibility. Major image means you can evoke a rain, green sky. Like if I let's see, a blob, like a green blob before me. It would look like a green blob. It would sound like it. But you would wave your hand through it, and it would be an illusion. There's also minor illusion, which is a cantrip, where you can create a flame in your hand, but it's not a flame. It won't create like the heat, but it'll create the look and the sound of it. Look and sound is a big part of the illusion spells. You can also alter your being. You can make yourself taller. You can make yourself shorter. You can make yourself invisible. The next school of magic is necromancy, life and death energy. These spells manipulate life force, drain vitality, or raise the dead. Examples of these include spare the dying, animate dead, blight, and resurrection. Oh boy, does this does this school of magic have storied history? I want to say again, to nail this home, just because it exists does not mean it is evil. The intent of the magic user is what might make the use of the spell evil. As you can see, healing magic is also included in this. You know, spare the dying, resurrection. Necromancy is not one to be afraid of, though you might find yourself running with tougher crowds if you were to want to focus on the school of magic. There are many fae, there are many humans that wish to own death, that wish to be the champions of it, that wish to outsmart it, you name it, they want it. They also view necromantic magic to be the top tier school. And if you were to master it, essentially, there are some people who believe that they could rise to godhood. I would like to say spoiler, you can't, but unfortunately there are use cases where that has happened. It is very, very, very rare. The last of the schools of magic that are recognized is transmutation. Transmutation focuses on transformation and physical change. These spells alter the properties of matter, energy, or living creatures. So, polymorph, where you can physically change yourself into another creature. Feather fall, where you can physically stop yourself from falling at a certain speed. You can alter yourself, like where is the illusion magic? Like maybe you look like you're wearing a different colored jacket. Maybe you look like you're missing an arm, or maybe you look like you have gills. Alter self would actually give you gills. Alter self would actually make you taller, etc. I hate this word. Prestidigitation is one that it's like you clean yourself up. You clean a very minor spill. I think it also includes like you opening doors, you make loud noises. It's a weird spell, but that falls under transmutation. Now, there is a ninth school that has to do with time magic. Chronomancy. It is not yet recognized as that type of magic is one that was only recently discovered within the last few hundred years. It is going through the rigor of recognition right now through not just the Ironborn Academy, but other academies and other institutions, magical or otherwise, within various different realms. It takes a when I tell you that it's literally been hundreds of years, it's probably been like thousands of years since they've had a recognized school. So that is the 8 current recognized schools of magic, as well as like the potential 9th. Let's see here. Any questions on any of the schools of magic I just covered?
No.
Any I'm curious because this is also a part of the tract. So for the second for the next lecture, I will deep dive into one of the schools of magic I just went into. The last class chose necromancy. You are welcome to choose necromancy, but you are also welcome to choose one of the other schools. I will say that whatever you choose, surprise, one Des Hargrove Carter will be giving a guest lecture on.
Oh.
Oh my god, I love her. She's like one of my favorite people.
So, that in mind, tell me, which school of magic would you guys like to focus on?
I think divination definitely brought my attention. I tried to write all of the different types of schools down as fast as I could, but divination is really what hit for me. Or either that or glyph of warden.
Okay, we got divination. Anybody else?
Necromancy or evocation for me, I think. But I'm also happy with any of them.
Okay, all right. Cass, what about you?
Um, I won't lie, like I'm not very picky from any of those schools because like to me like being very highly trained in my own magic and very like I love knowledge. I like learning everything. I think everything's important sooner or later. So like I'm not very picky.
Okay. How about this? We will have Des focus on divination. I know that is her strong suit. I know that she will bring a good perspective, and then that will also help her build out a lesson plan, etc. for it as well. And I will also provide on the side lecture notes for the necromancy lecture as well, so you guys will get access to that. Does that sound like a good deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds fair.
Perfect. All right. Oh, I forgot to note too. So I said, what did I say? Chronomancy, for the unrecognized Fey School of Magic. Another word for that is dunamancy. It's semantics. I just want to make sure you guys know. If you heard dunamancy, chronomancy, or basically any like CRON type school of magic that involves time magic effectively. Yeah, I think that about wraps up our lovely little lecture today. I made room for questions, but if no one has questions, that's totally fine. I will leave you with this. The Fae believe that magic can be found everywhere in anyone. Even the most mundane of humans retain magic within them, as they do believe that they are born of the weave. Everything has come out of the weave. It is the source of just happiness, sadness, camaraderie, miracles, you name it. And we believe that in having a connection to the weave, you have a connection to yourself, which leads me to this last and final note. I want you all in the coming weeks to take time with yourself to examine the source of your magic. You can anthropomorphize it, talk to it, speak to it. You can meditate with it. You could dive into your own history if you need help. Maybe finding some source material, let me know. But it is important for you to know the source of your own magic. And the reason being, every different style of magic has its own rule sets. Everything that I discussed with you today is through the perspective of Fae. From the way that we cast, from the way that we speak, from the ways that we evoke, that is our way of doing things. Me meditating and finding the source within me, that is how we do things. It is a common way to tap into magic through various beings, but that does not mean that it is your way. You all come from different walks of life. You all come from different lineages. You need to own getting to know your source, getting to understand it. Not just for the sake of being able to harness it, but to keep yourself safe and others as well. And for you to ultimately grow with it, to understand it, to learn from it. A lot of you have come to me wanting to know more about yourself, wanting to understand yourself. This is the first step. We need to identify your source. And thus ends our lecture. You all are released for the evening. If you would like a one-on-one session, you are welcome to stay behind. Sailor, I know you have to go to sleep. We can sync up later this week.
Okay.
All right. Who wants a one-on-one with me? Raise your hand. All right. I see a dancing one. I'll have yours first. Brenly, did you want to stay behind as well?
Yes, I do, low-key, because I do want to know where I can find a note. Because I try to write everything down as much as I can, but I am intrigued to know more. I don't really have any place that I could be right now or anxious to go to, so I do not mind staying.
Wonderful. Cass, what about you?
Huh?
Oh.
Sorry. I was hiding, but then it came out really.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm here for a while.
All right. These one-on-ones should last about 15 minutes. So let's see here. I'm gonna take them out front, just like underneath a tree out there. So if you guys it's not your turn. If you want to hang out here, you're welcome to do so. I can come back here and grab you when I'm done, and I'll do Melina first, then Burnley, and then Cass. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
All right. Sailor,
Oh, sorry, babe.
sleep well. Don't forget to drink water, okay?
Okay.
Talk soon.
Mm-hmm.
Proud of you. All right. Come this way, this way. Step into my office.
Is this the office?
Welcome to my office. Yes. Go ahead, please. Make yourself comfortable.
I did have like one question though.
Yes, one second. There's one. There we go. Yes. Uh,
That's okay.
hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Not too bad. How about you?
Not too bad. What is your question, my dear?
So in terms of like, so if there's like something that, like, let's say it's a magical source that, or like a spell or whatever that's just like raw and instinctual, but it connects to not only emotions but also voice, would that be classed as evocation or not?
It might be paired with enchantment. I could see that as evocation, enchantment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's like something that I know about kind of, so I wanted to see where it fit.
Yeah, no, I get that. And again, like things can cover or cross multiple schools of magic. Like I don't want you to feel like you have to pigeonhole, but um that to me sounds like a cross school type of ability.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and I wanted to check in with you too cuz you were saying when we first talked that you feel that your magic is very very much informed by your emotion, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, a lot of it. And it's like very, very unstable and stuff.
Yeah, can you tell me like when how how young were you when you first noticed that?
Like the instability or the emotional based
I
stuff.
mean, I guess both. Like, tell me about your first magical experience. How old were you? Like, when did you start noticing your emotions played a huge part?
I mean, maybe when I was like 13 or so, something around that age.
Okay. You don't have like a general memory, you just kind of remember it becoming part of your life?
I mean, I know that there's like people in my family that used to do a lot of magic and stuff, so it was like something that like either you learn about or you have or something, but I've also had like way too many traumatic experiences, I guess, in terms of like the past. So a lot of stuff is jumbled up, and it's like I like remember bits and pieces from certain years, and then certain years are just missing and stuff. So, but it's not all like trauma. It's also like whatever is happening inside of me, kind of thing.
Hmm. And they're and this runs in the family?
To a degree, yeah, but what I have is completely different in many ways, I guess. But
Okay. When was the
it's
good,
like
sorry.
it's like instead of the bloodline getting more diluted, I guess it got stronger. I don't know, and it's like in things, so it's very messy and hard to control, but also hard to figure out what is what. I've gone through like all the old like books and stuff that my family had already, and everything that I could find, and all the leads. So. But a lot of it is like spells with ingredients and so on, and
Okay.
then mine is just very emotional and like unstable,
I'm you know,
and then powered by stuff inside me and stuff.
yeah, I hear you. Wait, you just said that you did find some spells that were more like physically based, like lighting
Yeah,
incense. Okay.
or chanting certain words. Like there's a lot of books about all their experiences that
Yeah.
my family's had and documentations of like demons and celestial based stuff.
Okay. What kind of rituals did you come across? Like how many are we talking and what kind?
In terms of what?
Like are we talking like rituals for bonding? Are we talking like rituals for good luck? What kind of what types of spells?
Like evoking demons and invoking stuff as well.
Is there something that you would it's like very, very minor? Like or is it all very heavy? Minor is not invoking.
Pretty heavy.
I'm like, let's not invoke a demon, but perhaps there's like wishing good luck. Is there one like that?
I don't think so. I know I am like triple cursed though. That's like a thing.
Okay. I'm poking at this because I wanted to maybe give you homework for doing a physical spell and seeing how that goes. To try and get you out of your head and your emotions, but maybe channeling that through a physical spell. And if you found something that is familial, like that would be a really good exercise for you to do, but I don't want you to be summoning a demon. So that's why I was asking what kind did you find?
Yeah, to be fair, I'm fine with the demonic for the most part in terms of like the demonic doesn't like accept me as far as I know, but there's like demonic blood in me, so it's not that bad.
Right, but I'm still not going to open the window or suggest you summon a demon. Like that is not territory that I don't think you are ready for. I'm not like I've dealt with my fair share and demons, you never know who you're evoking even if the spell is specifically targeted. It does not guarantee that the evokee is going to appear. A window is a window to demons.
Yeah. Is this a bad time to say that I've done it like 100 times at this point?
I mean, it's not a bad time. It's good for me to know about, but for what purpose did you summon them?
I was trying to figure out the way my bloodline works is I'm trying to figure out which demon I'm actually related to in terms of like who fornicated in my family.
Oh, that's you're cold calling demons to talk to them about your lineage?
Essentially, yeah, when I
was younger. Melina. That's what I did
for
no. Did you get anywhere?
Yeah, I got to a lot of places, but there's also like there's something like different, I guess, inside me in terms of it's easier for me to invoke them so I can have a conversation with them inside myself at the same time, like sharing the same
When was the last time
rather than evoking.
When was the last time you did this?
A couple weeks ago when my hair turned white.
Okay. And in every instance, the demon has, I guess, in effect, like gone back or left you willingly?
I mean, yeah, because it's like a demon that I'm technically involved with, like kind of like we share a bond, I guess, in a way.
Okay.
So, yeah, she came out to like heal me in a time where I needed it, because even though I have blood that heals other people, it doesn't heal me because it's running in my veins.
Gotcha. Okay, so for Hex and Hearth, I pulled from my own grimoire some very basic spells. I would like to give you the homework to choose your pick of the 4 that I will send you and to attempt to practice it and see how it goes. I want you to focus on being calm and centered. I don't necessarily want you to evoke or bring any like demons in the side of this, because it sounds like you're going
Yeah.
pretty far down that path. But what you've told me is you're more curious about other paths, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
'Cause
focus.
that's just what I'm used to, is what I mean.
Yeah.
In terms of like history.
So if you could, I mean, even and this is not to say that like I don't want you to focus on succeeding, because even focus like if you fail, that is interesting. That is good data, right? So do
Yeah.
not cast this spell through demonic means if you feel that certain magic is like seeping to try and make the spell work and it is demonic related. Stop the spell. And journal your experience and let me know how it goes. I think that's a good first step. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I will definitely do
Okay.
that. If I manage to do one spell, should I try any of the others,
Yeah,
or should I
they're
just keep it to
they're
one?
they're fine. I mean, I would love to give you the resources for it. So if you want to give the others a go, you are welcome to do so. I would like to build your grimoire as well. Um, and those were spell cards that were part of a package. I forget what bundle, but it was like back in like February, March that we did that for. So, but they are rooted in my own magic, and actually Triska, one of my mentors, is the one who passed those spells on to me. So they are vetted.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely want to
Yeah.
try that.
In the meantime, um I am cautious around demonic magic, but that is for me to deal with. So if you reassure
Yeah.
me that if that stuff pops up, like you're safe and secure, that's awesome. I'm more interested in poking at like the other lines as you are interested as well. So do that, and then is there anyone that you're kind of leaning towards to meditate with?
Probably Burnley, I
Okay,
think.
that's awesome. Great. Okay, sounds great.
But I'm like happy with anyone, honestly. Like I'm fine with meditating with anyone there.
Yeah, cool. No, I think you guys I think that would be a great pairing. Um well, I think that pretty much wraps up our 101 unless you have any other questions for me.
Oh yeah, the one question is like the meditation. Like what is the like what would you consider a successful meditation?
That you were able to focus on yourself for 5 minutes or more by not like looking at your phone, but like just to be able to breathe clearly, center yourself, um, and come out of the experience like renewed in some way. Like basic meditation. If you're
Yeah.
is your question more like what would be a successful meditation with like Brinley?
Yeah,
Ah,
with a person.
yeah, just trying to meditate with another person, whether you're breathing together. You could definitely YouTube University different exercises for doing meditation.
Yeah.
Syncing your breaths, um trying, if you already have access to like your source of magic, pulling a tether of that and trying to like reach out and touch the person that you're meditating with and see if you're like your magic touches and see what happens with that. um
Yeah.
there are like I had students that literally did mindscapes together as part of their meditation. They went into each other's minds. It's really your flavor, and to me, the as long as you attempt to do it, if you have an experience together, if you bond, that to me is a successful meditation.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
Wonderful. All right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Also, love the outfit.
Thank you. Should I wear this one more instead of the peppermint one?
Sure. I also like the peppermint one. But
One of them looks like a whole tree, though.
it does
With brown pants.
kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of like a Girl Scout cookie.
Yeah.
I wish there were like, I don't know, more emerald shades of green in the catalog, but we do with what we can do.
Well,
Oh,
I mean, there's a couple good ones, but it's not like darker.
oh, that was Brindley that left. Mm,
Did they all leave?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I know Sailor had to go to bed. Hold on.
Bradley probably got confused. I'm gonna
I mean, I literally I pointed at you and I was like, I'll do Melina first, then Brinley, then so.
Do you want me to call Bradley?
I just messaged her. She might be driving. Let me text Cass too. Oh, Sailor. Where is Cass? Cass. Well,
Oh my god, I need to eat. I'm gonna pass
I'm
out.
sorry?
I needed to eat. I was about to pass out.
Yeah, I was like, food and drink check. But yeah, you're free to go. I'll wait and see if Miss Brinley still wants to. I'll give her a call in about a minute.
I'll call because I'm pretty sure she's confused. So give me a sec, I guess. So she's on her way back. She needed to get food apparently.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So she ran down to N10 to get food. I'm now realizing this hides my tattoos as well.
Oh yeah, I don't see any tattoos.
Well, apart from the neck one, the arm ones are completely done, obviously. Sleeves. Which I am not used to.
Yeah, you're completely covered. You got any plans this weekend?
Honestly, no, not really. I don't even know what happens half the time. I'm either trying to make money or doing something weird. Like flying a helicopter over mystics for no reason.
Over Mystics. Do they have anything to say about that?
Yeah. No, I actually like parked it in the water and then went inside and Sayla was working there. And then I did some like work in the kitchen and then I flew off again.
Goodness. Willa Sage,
Do
23.
you have any
Thank
plans?
you for the follow. Let's see here. Tomorrow I'm going on a little bit of a nature hike myself. Probably camping over the weekend.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's probably Hex and Hearth at some point tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm trying not to do too many hours at Hex because I kind of want the like employee of the month thing to go around, kind of, rather than
oh, you're a sweetheart.
just a bunch of people.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I mean, also, if you're working those hours, you're working those hours. Just, I more care about you pacing yourself as a person versus you trying for the employee of the month. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to do often, so work is usually fine. Hex is like probably the most chill place to work.
I love to hear it.
Everywhere else is food based, so it's like you're in the kitchen so much. which gets tiring.
I do remember that when I worked at Smoked. It was like I was the head chef at Smoked and I was in there nonstop.
I found cigars from Smoked, actually.
I miss those cigars. Ugh, I miss them.
I'll try and find which car they're in and give you some. Yeah, I got it from like a car that a friend gave to me. It was like one of the first cars, and they were leaving the city for a while. Yeah, but apparently it came in the car, so.
Oh, like somebody left it in their trunk?
Yeah, they left it in the trunk.
That makes
They were
sense.
leaving the city for a while, so they gave me that car.
Gotcha.
That might be Burnley. Yep, that sounds like Burnley.
Perfect. All right. You're welcome to stay, but I'm gonna go have a chat with her.
Okay.
Hello, hello.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to go get some food.
No, you're good. Come with me. Come with me. How you been?
I've been doing good. I've been mainly focusing on getting my home together, so
That's
I've been working on
exciting.
that.
Did you
Yay.
just recently get it purchased?
I'd say that again. Sorry, you were far away
No,
from
you're
me.
good. Did you recently get it purchased?
Yes, I would say like almost, a few days ago, probably up to a week now since I've had it.
Gotcha. You're welcome to make yourself comfortable.
Yes, let me make myself comfortable.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Sad, sad sailor. Can't wait for the RP. I'm excited. I can
Okay.
see you cooking. All right. Yeah, Brinley. How's it going? Tell me, what you been up to the last few days?
Hey, hold on, let me get a little bit closer
Yeah.
to you. Oh, this is a lot better. Okay. But yeah, things have been going good. I'm actually eagerly awaiting this class. I'm ready to start with learning more about myself, who I am, what I can conjure, what I can do, because I've been seeing a lot of people able to do stuff that I would want to do, or I thought I would be capable of doing.
Yeah, you.
And then I have so many ideas too.
Can you? I remember from our interview with Hex and Hearth, you mentioned you did attend a magical school before. What? Can you tell me more about like what kind of spells you have knowledge of already, and like what kind of casting abilities you have?
So I have attended before, and it was a while back, around when I was a kid. I even had a mentor myself, and I did dabble in divination, so that's why my attention had crossed and was peaked at that topic. But yes, I'm so rusty with what I have learned.
How many years?
So I want to
How
keep
many
learning
years
more.
would you say has passed since you were in school?
2.
Okay. Okay. And what kind of spells are we talking? I know you said divination. Are we talking like you can foresee the future, the past, you can levitate? Like, what are we talking?
I can levitate. I can, I don't really remember, but I do remember that I can levitate. Like I said, I've only been there for 2 years, and 2 years could be a lot for some, but I would say my professors never really guided me or really helped me like I expected them to, and I felt like I was the child that was left behind.
I'm
Um,
sorry to hear that.
yeah, and of course, I had every right to voice my opinion. Even my parents, my peers have every right to voice their opinion as well. But I guess having one too many siblings tend to make you feel like the child that, oh, okay, I will get to you when I get to you, but then it never comes. So I would just constantly in and out of classes. When I were in said classes, I tried my best to focus, but I'm not as faster as the rest of my students or as the rest of my classmates. Um, so I kind of just fell behind. I fell out of sorts. And the minute that, they were able to catch on that, okay, I needed a different approach in learning, it was a little bit too late and my school years were over. Not to mention that a lot of things had happened within the ending of the school years where I had to go MIA, had to leave, had to run. Um, I'm not really ready or willing to get into that yet. Not ready to be judged on that, to be honest.
Okay, no judgment here. I promise. Can I ask, are you a middle child? Is that why you feel overlooked, or your parents just overlooked you for you, or both?
Surprisingly enough, I am the older child. I don't know if it because I all of us came all at once, or because we are kind of close in age, but I am older and I do look over my siblings, and I feel like maybe my siblings needed the more guidance than I did. I don't know why my parents saw it that way. Like I said, my mother, she was a witch, and my father, he was the mage, and so they were always so busy, not only with their careers, but also with my siblings as well. Not to mention there have been family affairs going on, which I just found out that my cousin was my sister, and my sister's it's a mess. There's a whole thing going on about that. Um, and just recently I found my sister again, and she is in this city with me now. So it's kind of opening up, I wouldn't say a wound, but opening up
Baggage, history.
things all over
Who's
again.
your sister?
Yeah. She goes by the name of Tiffany Samuels. Um, yeah, for the longest, we all thought that she was my cousin until finding out that I guess our mothers loved our fathers so much. So we're half sisters, basically.
Okay. So circling back to the content of the lecture, um,
Mm-hmm.
you're saying, and please correct me if I'm wrong, divination is kind of where your focus lies for now, right now?
That divination, and I want to learn more about my shape shifting abilities. Remember when we were talking with the first class that I attended, well, that I was not in, but I joined in. I was talking about how I wanted to learn more about like my mind reading abilities and my shape shifting. I want to learn more on my shape shifting. I thought it over, and as cool as mind reading is, that can get exhausting, and I'm pretty sure that would take a lot of power within me to do so. So I want to learn how to shapeshift.
Okay, that was my next question when you said work on your shape shifting. How one, have you shapeshifted before?
I have shapeshifted once into the form of a deer, and then the other was supposed to be a wolf, my wolf form as well. But I've never been able to fully when I was in my transfiguration class, I was never able to fully master that, and the shape shifting ability to for in deer form kind of was just on an accidental moment, and that was the moment that I realized that I could shapeshift, or my professor realized that I could shapeshift.
Okay. So, here's what we're gonna do. As much
Mhm.
as you want to be a wolf, etc., the natural form you originally took was a deer, which means
Mhm.
your magic, your abilities kind of just lean towards the anatomy of a deer, like the knowledge base, right? You easily fit into a deer. So I would
Mhm.
say rather than having that happen randomly, we need to work on fostering that transformation and you learning
Mhm.
how to recall it and to activate it, for lack of a better term, and to transform into it. Because
Mhm.
once you master that form, then perhaps we can get into reaching out and doing other forms and kind of testing it. So
Mhm.
your homework for now is do you know where Mount Gordo is?
Oh, say that
Do you know
again.
where
My
Yeah,
homework
you're good. Do
is
you know where Mount Gordo is?
quarter.
It is
I don't think I've ever heard of
it
that
is
place
east
actually.
of Chiliad in like the
Mhm.
northeast. There is a huge radio tower
Mhm.
up on the top of the mountain.
Mhm.
Behind the radio tower is and down like on the other side of the mountain is a lake.
Mhm. Wait, hold on. Let me catch up with you. So I see Mount Chiliad, and
Look to the right
I
of it.
am in the middle
Look
of
to the
it.
right of it.
Mhm.
Um
There, like right, like the right of it next to like grapeseed,
up
or.
north of Grapeseed. You should see a
Mhm.
tiny little Mount Gordo symbol.
Oh yeah.
Do
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
see the water symbol kind of up to the left of it? It kind of looks like a shoe next to the Mount Gordo symbol. Like there's a trail that gets really close to it and then goes back towards Mount Gordo.
Mhm.
Um, I know for a fact that there are groups of deer that like to live out there. So what I'm
Mhm.
charging you with is over the next few weeks, at least once trek out to Mount Gordo, and I would like
Mhm.
you to take your meditation out there, and I want you
Mhm.
to focus on transforming into a deer, tapping into your magic. I highly, highly, highly recommend going to the library and looking
Mhm.
for a deer anatomy book and studying the
Mhm.
anatomy. Additionally, you can also study the anatomy of wolves and other forms, but first, please focus on deer. And I
Mhm.
want to see what happens when you take time by learning the animal. Perhaps honestly watching some nature documentaries on the cultures of the deer, like fully throw yourself into learning
Mhm.
about deer. Um and Yeah, and just kind of ingratiate yourself with nature out there. If you're not able to
Mhm.
transform, perhaps try speaking with animals, bonding with
Mhm.
them, bringing berries with you, being kind of like an interest for the deers to come and maybe check you out and not be
Mhm.
afraid of you. How does that sound?
I think that sounds great. And you said it's like in the form of a shoe?
The water, the body of water. So, do you
Mhm.
see
The
do
body
you
of
do you see the
water.
Mount Gordo symbol?
Mhm. The mouth.
Okay.
Mhm. The symbol.
The left of it and slightly above, there should be like a little water, like, and it
Mhm.
to me it looks like a shoe. I don't know, like or a mini mountain.
It. Yeah, like a little mountain. Okay, so that's
Yep.
where I gotta go.
At
Next to the
minimum,
road.
follow the trail. The trail will lead you to the lake.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. Um, as far as meditating with another student, is there another student that's kind of piquing your interest or that you might want to do the paired meditation with?
Mhm. Over time, I have bonded with this student, Melina.
Okay.
She and I not only we work together, but we have hung out over the times and have grown closer together in friendship. And I would love to work with her. I feel like I will be most comfortable
Okay. Yeah.
and safe with.
To be frank, she mentioned you as well, so I think that's a great pairing. If you want to go out there and do a nature hike together, I would love to see it. You know, not required, but
Mm-hmm.
I have found that lake to be a very like a very good anchor spot for
Mm-hmm.
all things magical in this island. So
Oh,
highly, highly
and you
recommend.
said where is that again? Or is that the same place?
Same place. Same place I'm talking about. The lake north of Mount Gordo.
Okay. And you want me to bring her out there too? Okay.
I'm recommending it. I'm not like saying do it, but I'm like if you want to bring her out there,
Mm-hmm.
that would be fun, I think, for like a little trip for you two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think kind of throwing yourself into the anatomy books, learning about deer, do the meditation, kind of I think that is a really great first step. And
Mm-hmm.
perhaps for your final project, you can present back about your journey into being able to transform. And if you're successful and at some
Yes.
point in this course you feel like you've mastered this form, let's have another conversation and we can talk about like the next
Mm-hmm.
form, whether it be wolf or like an adjacent one, like maybe like a smaller one, like a dog. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how's that sound?
Mm-hmm. I think that sounds good, and I think I would love like a one-on-one session with you on figuring out how to transform into a different type of animal.
Hmm.
Starting off with the deer, how would that be able to? How would that look? How would that feel? How would I be able to tap into that energy? You know, either whether that being right there on the spot or
Yeah,
you
I
know.
think first, because you said it's spontaneous, I
Mm-hmm.
wanna challenge you to go and try and do it yourself in a controlled environment. So
Mm-hmm.
going to like, whether that be Mount Gordo or another area, um, what I can suggest is, you know, if you haven't already found the source of your magic, like, what has worked for me is literally thinking like the source is, like, in the middle of my chest. And when I
Mm-hmm.
breathe, I like breathe the air in and I bring it down through my throat and into my chest, and then from there I can kind of like visualize accessing
Mm-hmm.
it like it's a well. And the deeper I go, the more ancient or the more like powerful of it. And the way that I kind of like, the more tired I am, the more empty the well is, etc. And for me, it's
Mm-hmm.
really that visualization process has helped me tap into my
Mm-hmm.
magic. It is that's why I'm like it's different for everybody, and I can talk at
Mm-hmm.
you and I can give you suggestions of what to do, but you kind of need to find your own well, if that makes sense. So it
Right.
could be a tree, it could be perhaps an actual animal. Maybe you go upon looking in yourself and you find a deer, and that deer is the vehicle of your magic. I don't know, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have
Mm-hmm.
to go on your own spiritual journey. That's what our mentors do with us when we blossom as well. Because it's so different and so vast for everybody. Everybody has such a different variety of magic. So um,
Mm-hmm.
I think like once we because what I want to see for you doing this by yourself, I want to try and challenge to see that you can actually do it. If you can't, I will definitely arrange another one-on-one for us to sit down and maybe I can add some pressure to
Mm-hmm.
see if perhaps we can coax the form out of you because this is all data
Mm-hmm.
collection, right? So first I um yeah, I think that's a first good step because I also want you to
Mm-hmm.
practice meditating because I that is a really to me a good foundation. Once you have a good practice of meditating, accessing your spell, then you can kind of get into the transformation, and then from there, um, we can go into like the more advanced stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That sound like a plan?
Okay, yeah, I can definitely. Yes, honestly, yeah, I think kind of shared enlightenment on focusing on doing it myself, trying to achieve the form myself, and I will do the best that I can and do what I can, and tap into that energy.
That sounds great. Any other questions for me tonight?
I think that is. Oh yes. Where would I go to try to find the notes on the classes? Because I tried looking everywhere, and I couldn't find it.
The notes haven't been uploaded yet for this class.
Okay. And I was trying to find the other notes. I know it's not a part of the class
It's
that
in
I am
the
in, but I
it's in the it is in the courses section under that courses
Mhm.
thread. So you have to go find the
Okay.
whatever is the name of that course. You'll go into the thread and you'll see the link to it. I also shared I forwarded it to the general chat as well. So it is there. You should have access to it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And either later tonight or tomorrow morning, the notes for tonight's lecture will be posted as well.
What did you say about tomorrow night or later on?
The notes for tonight's class will be posted.
Okay. Okay, perfect. You said it'll be posted tomorrow.
Either later tonight or tomorrow.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. And just because you mentioned it earlier, was tonight's pacing okay for you? Is there something I can do better to help with like your learning style? Was I going too fast, too slow?
My thing is I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. So I feel like I am comfortable where I am right now. I'm comfortable with the pacing of the class. Sure, like I said, it takes me a moment to get my bearings on things, and I'm a little bit slow amongst my other classmates. But I try my best to write all that I can, even though there will be notes posted. I would like to. My focus is on how things will be said in that moment than what the notes are saying. Because you could be giving us key points that you'll be giving on the test or the exam, and I can try to help progress myself further.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try my best to write the notes, but I say the pace of the class is going fine so far.
Good. Okay. And like I said, the exam is super easy. Every answer will be found within the notes. Hint, hint.
Okay.
And it's open. It
Perfect.
is open note, and there's no time limit. And I will be there until you pass. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. I think Melina is still here. I'm gonna try and get a hold of Cass, but you are free to go.
Thank you so much, Oberon, and
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking the time out of your day.
You're welcome. I love to do this. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to hear about your journeys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right, Miss Cass. You think you can get away from me?
Oh wow.
Cass.
I'm right out in the back.
Are you actually?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I thought you left. You didn't text me back.
Wait, you texted
Yeah,
me?
I was like, where did you go?
Oh, I just saw it.
Oh.
I was doing yoga in the backpack. Oh, I see
where are
you.
Wait, no, hold on. I'm gonna come to you. Wait, hold on. Where are you? I don't see you.
I'm right behind you.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Hello. I was right there.
That's so funny. Well,
and then I ran inside because I thought you were in there, and then you ran that way, and I was like, oh my god.
you're good. Do you want to step into my office out front, or do you want to be amongst the flowers here?
I'm good wherever.
Cass, make a decision.
Decision making. Making decisions. Office, let's
All right,
go.
this way. Welcome to my office. Make yourself comfortable.
Oh, I'm very nature.
Thank you.
Fun
You know
in
what's funny is
nature
it's half
vibes.
decorated, but I can't decorate more because I'm Actually, let me look at my number again. I forgot how much I'm at.
Are you at the maximum?
I'm at.
Because I understand.
Do you want to hazard a guess?
You're like at like the last like 5 items or something.
So 80 is the limit, right?
Yes.
How many items do you think I have?
I'm guessing 80 or above. It feels more than 80 if I'm being honest.
590.
Oh.
And it's because I did all of this before the limit because I have no neighbors, and then they impose the limit and I can't decorate anymore, and I'm not going to take anything away. So,
How dare you, gods?
I know, right? All right. Cass, welcome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have you in front of me and in this class. Thank you for being here.
Of course. I'm excited.
Yeah. Talk to me. Like how are you doing? How are things going?
I've been a lot. A lot's been going on.
Okay. What does that mean?
Taken a few trips. I've just gotten back from like a major one. Exhausting, but major.
Where'd you go?
I had to go save a friend.
Okay. I'm gonna keep asking questions unless you elaborate. So who's the friend? Where did you go?
I went to I don't know the name of the place, but I had to go and save Anagra from some past situations.
Enigra?
She's
Is
an
that
old
what you
friend of
said?
mine.
Okay.
Her name is Anagra Rodriguez.
But
I've been her friend for like years, but
have I met
she
her?
asked for my help and in another time.
Oh shit. Okay. One of those. It happens all the time with Lady. Don't worry about it. I'm kind of used to it at this point.
Yes. I was like, I think Lady has said this multiple times. But I'm like, I feel like I feel like you understand.
It doesn't discombobulate my brain. We're okay. It's not like you're about to break some sort of space-time continuum this time.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it wouldn't be the first time I've done that either. But I just got back from Nod. It was a long journey. Saved her as the 1200th time.
Okay. Did you cast any magic while you were there? Talk to me. Like, what was the?
Lot.
All right.
It was battles galore.
Battles galore. What does that mean?
Yes, I had to fight a lot of like enemies to save her, like from her captors because she got kidnapped.
Okay. So what kind of magic are we talking?
Mainly just my Dragonov side. I haven't been able to tap into my Fae side. So I used a lot of my telepathy, my telekinesis, my stone magic from my firestone that I carry.
You haven't been able to tap into your face side, you say. Well, I have the perfect assignment for you. I'm not sure if you ever ended up with any of them, but did you end up with any of the spell cards that Hexenhearth did a few months back?
I did not.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to give you all the spell cards. Your assignment is to cast at least one of the spells, focusing on your Fae source within you. And I say that loosely because that's part of your meditation assignment is trying to find the source within you, where that lies, and to access it and to harness it, and using only that magic to cast those spells. And the spells on these cards are Fae magic spells. They are vetted and given to me by Triska. She's used them for centuries. They are from her own grimoire as well as my own now. So they are inherently Fae. So that is what I'm tasking you with. You can do that by yourself. You can do that with a partner. But and if you end up wanting to do all four, you're welcome to do all four. But at minimum, you have to try to do at least one and report back to me how it went.
Got it.
Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so as far as like pairing up with somebody to meditate with, did anyone out there kind of stand out to you? Have you given thought about that? Who are you wanting to pair up with?
Um. Well, I sense someone looking at me. I have an idea. I have an idea.
Okay, you're trying to be cagey with it. All right. What's the idea? Who?
When you mentioned the like meditation stuff, one thing is that I've always meditated. I often go into the forest and meditate often. I enjoy meditation. I think it's important for everyone to do. I think it's a good way to get into nature. And Sailor was looking directly at me when you mentioned it, so I am thinking of Sailor and I because we've known each other for a while. Like really well. Oh, I heard a honk. And I've like I think it'd be fun to go into nature and meditate with Sailor and hang out with Sailor because we haven't really gotten to be one-on-one yet, and I think it'd be nice. And I think that would be a nice time.
I love that. Truly, I do. I think that's a great idea. I love this. I love teaching. That sounds lovely, Cass. Now, as far as your final project goes, uh, kind of stepping back, greater picture, I discussed the different schools of magic. Is there a spell that you use that you are interested in learning in or that you want to enhance upon? Any of the above, because I'm thinking whatever you say might be your assignment for that presentation.
I've really like thought about it. My major thing is that like I haven't really thought about like magic in a while, except like using my Dragonoff side because I've just gotten back my horns recently. Um, not the same, new, but I haven't really thought about magic spells per se as recent with my magic.
All right. Well, that's your assignment is to journal and to think on what you want to do um for your final presentation, and I would like you to report back to me by either on or before the next lecture.
Got it.
Okay? I think that pretty much does it for our one-on-one. Do you have any other questions for me?
Not currently.
Okay. Well, I gotta get these notes typed up and everything. I will be posting the notes either later tonight or tomorrow at some point for your records. As I mentioned, the knowledge check, everything in my lecture notes, um, or all of the answers to the exam questions can be found in the lecture notes, and there's no limit, and you can take it as many times as you want when we do take the test, so you don't have to worry about that. All right?
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You're free to go, Cass. Thank you. Thank you for coming out tonight.
And thank you.
No, thank you.
Uh, uh, no, thank you.
No, no. Oh, come on. Oh. Okay. No worshiping. No worshiping. You can do that for a lady. Oh, goodness. Get out of here. Go on.
Okay, I will be on my knees for lady later.
Oh,
Wait.
what? Okay.
Wait, that was
She'd
weird,
like
that was
that.
weird,
She'd like
that
that.
was
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
She'd like that.
She'd like that. She'd like that. All right, guys. Let's see here. How many students do I have signed up for this class? Ooh, that's a bush. Let's look here. How many students do I have signed up for this class? I have 5. Okay, so Julian needs to make up the class. Did everybody except for Julian and Sailors 101? Ah, this was so good. This was so great. We covered all the content that is in this the knowledge checks portion of this lecture. They should all know the answers for. I will actually copy paste that later, and they are going to be doing divination for their next lecture focus. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, a little bit of a short and sweet stream, but I think that actually wraps it up for one Oberon Goodfellow. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me this lovely Friday evening. I hope you have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of your night. And please, please remember to drink water, to be kind to yourself. And I will see you next time. Good night.